Hi, thanks for joining me. So, as can happen, I screwed up. I recorded this whole episode with the microphone off, so I have turned the microphone on, and now we can record this over again. So, it will not be quite as spontaneous and off the cuff as it was when I recorded it originally. But we're coming back to Mezase Pachi Pro Pachio-kun. We are at Pachinko Gold, I think, something like that. And I think this is our second to last parlor. But we're going to start off by talking to the patrons and checking our script. So let's talk with this gentleman. So he says, "You may know Pachinko ya Pachinko Gold do e yokoso." So the same thing as when we first arrived here. He's just welcoming us to Pachinko Gold, the Pachinko Parlor of Dreams or something. Well, yeah, I guess that's exactly what he said. So let's go ahead and talk with this gentleman. He says, "Boku wa ronin chu no asano desu." So this is that same line that, it sounds like he's saying he's Asano, currently unemployed. Boku no ikigai wa pachinko nan desu, which we've discussed before, is that his passion is pachinko. Here is Saizo. Washi wa Pachi Pro no Saizo ja. So this is the Saizo, the Pachinko Pro. He says, "Omiya kugi no mikata wa oboe taka." We've run into this line before. He basically is saying, have you learned to read the nails at this Pachinko parlor? Alright, so I'm going to say, no, I have not learned to read the nails. Alright, he is going to say, "Otoshi no ue kugi ga shimatoreba tama wa hairanai." So the way I translated this as, if the nails over a trap are closed, the balls won't go in. And so I was basically taking otoshi to be like trap. That could be a trap, that could be a pitfall, something like that. So, and actually in this case, pitfall I think might make a little more sense, but it's one of those things where, like, it seems like, what is the terminology that would be used for this in Pachinko terms? And I'm not entirely sure. This wasn't necessarily covered in that book that I read. So I don't know if I should just, if like he's referring specifically to a scoring slot, and that would make sense. If the nails over a scoring slot are closed, the balls won't go in. But, I guess if the nails over a pitfall are closed, the balls won't go in. I'll just leave it like that for now, and I can think about it. Maybe I can research otoshi in relation to Pachinko a little bit more, see if there's something I can find. So this gentleman says, "Kono mise no onee-san wa kirei da ne." So this is, aren't the girls at this Pachinko parlor pretty? But he also says, "Kenri dai no himitsu o shiritai kai." So would you like to know the secret of the Kenri machines? And this is something I would have very much liked to know. So let's say yes. So he says, "Kono mise no kenri dai de wa uchidome su wa." So yeah, they're basically 4,000. They pay out 4,000. So I think what might be going on here is that originally I was just speculating about how Japanese is a little weird in terms of responding to negative questions with affirmation, or not, depending. Like in English, we tend to say, "Do you mind this thing?" And it would say, "No, I do not mind that thing." But in Japanese, "Yes, I do mind it." But it's like, "Do you mind this thing?" In Japanese, they would be like, "Yes, I don't mind that thing," or like, "No, I do mind that." It's like they kind of do it the reverse of the way that we do it. But I don't think that's the issue here. I think they screwed up in the programming. So I think when you answer this the way because it's specifically saying, "Would you like to know the secret?" And if you say, "Yes, I would like to know the secret," he doesn't really tell you the secret. If you say, "No, I wouldn't like to know the secret," he kind of tells you the secret here. So I literally think that they just pointed this which answer you give to the wrong next statement. So he says, "Kono mise no kenri dai de wa chu ripu ga hiraitara tama o dekiru dake dekiru dake oku tataki kome. So yeah, all he says is when the tulips open, drive as many balls into them as possible. I think we've seen that type of a line before, but that is apparently relevant on the cannery machines. They will have tulips. So this guy says, Dose watai no atama wa hage desu. So I am bald. This guy says, Nani hito no jama surun ja achi itore. So this is just that same line we've run into before. The guy's like, get out of here, kid, you bother me. Anata enki o katsugu ho. So we've run into this line before also. She's asking, are you superstitious? We're going to say, yes, we are superstitious. So she's saying, Odaki 7 de 7 bandai nanka derun janai. I think previously we ran into this line and I was convinced she was talking about the 7 machines, and after just mulling that over a little bit, I'm thinking I don't think that that's correct. So when she says lucky 7 day, and like the particle day can basically mean like via or with or even because. So in this case, I think she's talking about like just the lucky number 7, because we're also talking about superstition. So she's like, via the lucky number 7, or because of the lucky number 7. So like since 7 is a lucky number, 7 bandai nan kaderun janai. So she's like essentially saying like, playing the 7 machine might pay out for you. So I think I was really misinterpreting and mistranslating that line previously. So if you guys saw that previous episode, I don't know when it was, in a long time ago, when I was talking about this line, and you were screaming at me like, no, you're wrong. Well, I was wrong, so you were vindicated. Okay, so that now says since the number 7 is lucky, the 7 machine may pay out. That's pretty good. So let's talk to this lady here. She says, Watashi shinken nandakara hanashi kakenai de yo. So we've seen that before, and I think because I recorded this more than once, last time she was out not at a machine, walking around, and she still said that same line. That was something I was curious about, whether she would say, hey, I'm concentrating, so I'm serious about this, so don't bother me. She actually says that even if she's standing up, which I think is kind of funny. So let's talk with this gentleman. He says, Kaisha de koki tsukawarete pachinko demo makete kyo wa yakubi kana. Yakubi kana. So yeah, we've seen this line before. He's just talking about how it's his unlucky day and he screwed up at work and pachinko. But he says something else. He says 7 dai de asun dakai. So like, have you played the 7 machines? So if we say yes, he says chu atari ni natara tama o taka ni tataki kome. So this is going to be, if you get a medium hit, then you want to drive balls into the attacker. We've seen this before. We begins to say no, and he just says, uchidome suwa. So like, they pay out 4,000. Now, is this similar to this other line, or this other gentleman, where it seemed like kind of backward how you answered this? So it's like, I don't know, do you play the 7 machines, or have you played the 7 machines? If you say yes, he like gives you some advice about it, and if you say no, then he just sort of tells you how much they pay out. I mean, maybe that's all fine. Oh, this is interesting. So like, they're just randomly saying their welcome message again. I think I've had that happen before. Maybe that's just, there's a random chance of that happening after you speak to someone. Watashi wa Onna Pachi Pro Ranko. So this is Ranko we've seen before. Nandai ka uchidome shita. So, and I think really when she says nandai ka here, it's sort of like any machines. So she's kind of like, have you played out any machines? As opposed to like, I think I had something about like, a number of machines that have a number of machines played out, or something like that. So if I say yes, I have played out machines, then she says, shu chu shinakya dame yo Benkyou mo asobi mo onaji yo. So she says, you gotta have focus. It's the same for both studying and playing. So I think that's cool. And if you say no, she does tell me a machine. What is this? Tameshi ni 105 ban dai de yatte minasai. Okay, so she's recommending we try the 105 machine. All right, don't let me forget 105. And I guess we're gonna try talking to everyone else. All right, so anata kono mise hajimete nano. So is this your first time at this parlor? I say yes. She says, deru dai oshiete hoshii, demo hitsuyo nai mitai ne. So basically, she's like, you want me to tell you what machines play out? And she says, yeah, but you don't seem like you need it. So she just kind of blocks you there. Watashi oeru nan no kaisha ni naisho ni so she's like, I'm and specifically she says an office lady, and that's one of those weird Japanese things where they borrow foreign words and sort of turn them into words in Japanese. And I mean, it's not weird. It's we do that in English. I mean, we do that even from Japanese, like typhoon. That comes from taifu, which is a Japanese word for a typhoon. So. We do that too, but anyway, but it becomes kind of waseego, I guess, because it's office lady, and we don't call our female office workers office ladies. It's an office worker. So I translated this as, I'm an office worker. Keep this a secret from my company, okay? So I think that's fine. And we don't need to have the okay. I could just say, keep this a secret from my company. They use ne in Japanese a lot, just to make it so it doesn't sound like you're like stating something as if somebody didn't already know that. If somebody had every reason to already know that, then you might say nay, just so it doesn't sound like you're like shouting in their face or something. Kyo mo janjan bari dashimashou. So again, he's like, yeah, let's all rake it in again today, which I think is the right. Just that little addition of all, I think, helps bring the right perspective into that line. So this guy says, Dose watai no atama hage desu. So again, he's just saying that he's balding. I'm almost tempted to be like, I'm losing my hair or something. I don't know, but it's a bunch of characters say that line. Storesu kai sho ho ni wa Pachinko ga ichiban ne. So she's saying that same line we've run into before about Pachinko is best for relieving stress, but she also says another line, Yoshi ato ikai maketara uchi ni kaero. So this one is that she's gonna leave after playing just one more game, and I can look up the way that I translated this specifically, but I remember it sounded good, so I know what the meaning is, and I like the wording on the translation. This is super useful though. So this guy says, Kenri dai de asonda kai. So this is like, do you play or have you played the Kenri machines? So if we say yes, he says, that same line, which is basically, hey, don't get cocky, kid, which I think is really funny, and I think that's the right translation. I think that's a good translation of that now. But if you say no, this is great. So he says, Kono mise no kenri dai de wa oatari no saichu ni akai diodu ni tamaga haireba oatari wa owachao yo kiotsukete ne. So what I love about this is that I didn't know what the Kenri machines were, and this solves that completely. So we've gotten all this way, and I still wasn't sure what a Kenri machine was. This cinches it. So what he's saying is, if you're in the middle of a big hit and you put balls in the red dial, the big hit will end. Be careful. So what this means is those machines that we saw, I think it was maybe in the second parlor, that were like phone machines, had a dial in it, And you know, spoiler, because I had to I'm re-recording this now, I actually saw that they have those machines in this parlor too. Those are 100% the Kenry machines. They have a dial on them, and there's one mark that's red. So this is what he's saying is, you know, if you're in the middle of a hit, if you know, a ball goes into that red portion of the dial, then the big hit will end. It'll go cold. So so that's great. I love that we've learned something important that I didn't know before about Pachinko and this game. So this guy says, mo kata, Pachinko wa yame raremahen na, an-san mo kate masu ka? So I translated this as, I've made a killing, I can't stop playing Pachinko. And then there's a second line, where he's just saying, have you won yet? And if I say no, he's going to tell me again to play the 105 machine, which is great. And if I say yes, then he's going to say, An-san, suji ga yoroshi omanna. Okay, and this was that line where I wasn't sure, like, you have a good plan, you know, or something like that. So again, you know, it's going to be good for me to come back to these videos in context, and I'll research the wording a little bit, and I'll adjust the wording on that just so it sounds kind of more natural. It's nice getting it in context, as little context as this is. She says, Watashi oeru nano kaisha ni naisho ni shite ne. So she's saying, I'm an office worker, please keep this a secret from my company. She doesn't want to be outed as a Pachinko player. She might be on the clock, or even just on her lunch break or something. I don't know why I'm checking the length of this before I talk to these people. Nani hito no jama sun ja achi itore. So same old thing. Get out of my face. Kyobi no pachinko ya wa onna gohan ga go-san, sorry, gyo-san otte yoroshi na. So this is that line we've run into before, where I was talking about how the onagohan was confusing me, but it's just, he's, you know, in this sort of thick accent, he's saying that, you know, isn't it nice that you know, all the ladies around the Pachinko parlors these days, something along those lines. It's translated well. We've gone over that line before. This guy says, kyomo o makedai. So he's like, yeah, I'm losing again today. Boku wa gakusei no todai dayo. So this is this guy again, that's a student. He says, hikoki dai no himitsu shi tai kai. So would you like to know the secret of the airplane machines? So if we say yes, and this time he actually says the secret when we say yes. So I really think that other line was like backward for some reason, or I don't know, maybe, who knows. Ekonomise no hikoki dai de wa o atari ni natara kouritsu yoku buizon e tama o ireru yo ni. So he's saying, like, you know, as for the airplane machines at this parlor, you want to put a high rate of balls into the V zone when you're in the middle of a, you know, if you get a big hit. We've run into that line before. It's fine. And I think this is our last line here. She says, Anata engyo katsugu ho. So this is again where she's saying, are you superstitious? If we say yes, this is just that same line about the lucky number 7. You know, since the number 7 is lucky, maybe play the 7 machine. If we say no, she just says, Toshioe no hito no ii koto iu koto ni wa mimi o kasumo no yo, which is just listen to your elders, more or less. You should you know, take the advice of those that are older than you, kind of a thing. And that's it. I think we've talked to everyone. So the main things here is that we've definitely learned some good things about the Kenry machines, and we also, you know, if we have checked some lines, and we've learned that the 105 machine, I believe, will pay out for us. So let's come back, and we'll play the machines, and we'll get to the next parlor. I think it's going to be the last one. So hope you join me for that. Thanks for watching.